Hey everybody, John Skiba here from the Consumer Warrior YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to share with you 3 things that you need to avoid if you're seeing what I'm seeing. It looks like the clouds of recession are starting to head back into our economy, unfortunately. And if you think that you're going to need to file for bankruptcy in the future, it's important that you make a plan now, and there's certain things you shouldn't do. I'm going to share with you 3 things that you shouldn't do if you think bankruptcy is in your future. But if this is your first time here to my YouTube channel, please go ahead and check off that little bell, click subscribe, that you'll be notified each and every week when I put out a new video that'll help you deal with serious debt problems. All right, so I'm recording this in the beginning of the summer of 2022, and things are starting to feel a little deja vu. I've been doing this for nearly 20 years, and it's starting to feel very similar to 2007, 2008 recession, where here in Arizona, where I practice law, bankruptcies were off the chart, foreclosures were off the chart, and unfortunately, I'm starting to feel some of those same things. A lot of this is just anecdotal, but I can tell you right now in 2022, the bankruptcy filings in my law practice were currently up 147% compared to the filings for last year. We're just barely starting in June, and we're already up that high with the number of bankruptcy filings. And it's easy to see why. I drive a Ford F-150 truck. It costs me $165 to fill that thing full of gas. And so, there's all these higher expenses. We're actually starting to see the housing market level off a bit. And so if all of these things kind of come together in this perfect storm, I'm concerned about what that may hold for a lot of people. I'm also seeing, again, more anecdotal evidence, but I'm seeing a number of people who contact me looking to file bankruptcy right now, people who work in the mortgage industry, mortgage brokers who work on a commission. A lot of lenders tend to have a lot of mortgage brokers on staff when things are good, like they have been the last couple of years, but when things start to level off or to dip, they get rid of them pretty quickly. And so I'm seeing a number of those people already contact me who are looking to file for bankruptcy to get some debt relief. Now, if you think bankruptcy may be in your future, if you're in a situation where the job is a little unstable already, or maybe you've been dealing with debt issues for a long time and lawsuits and that are starting to come, if you think bankruptcy is coming, there are a few things you should avoid because they can cause you serious problems throughout the bankruptcy process. The first thing you should not do is don't start transferring assets. What I mean by that, don't transfer things into other people's name, putting things into LLCs. It's better to keep just status quo. Keep things as they are for right now, because if you file for bankruptcy in the near future, you're going to have to disclose those transfers, and particularly if they're like to family members or friends, it can cause you a lot of problems. Now, this is different than if you're just selling an asset. So let's say that you're like, I've got this car, I'm struggling right now, I'm just going to sell it, get a little extra cash. That's fine as long as you're selling it for approximately what it's worth. But if you're just giving it away or transferring it to a family member, it's going to cause all kinds of problems in your bankruptcy. So I would recommend don't transfer things. If you're thinking bankruptcy is coming, it's going to make your case a lot smoother and you'll get through it a lot more quickly. The other thing to not do, and there's this natural inclination that if you need to file for bankruptcy, that you want to protect your family. And so you may look to family members who have been helping you out or that you owe money to, and you may think, I'm going to go ahead and pay them off so that when I file for bankruptcy, I don't have to disclose my brother or my parents in my bankruptcy case. Again, bad idea. Do not pay family members back if you're headed towards a bankruptcy. And the reason why is the court will call this a preferential transfer, essentially where you're transferring assets, you're transferring your money to a creditor who you're preferring over the others. So namely, if you pay your family members off within 12 months prior to filing your bankruptcy, the bankruptcy court can actually go back and get those funds, bring them back into the bankruptcy, and pay them evenly amongst all of your creditors. It makes all holidays going forward super awkward if you brought your parents or another family member into your bankruptcy case. So if you owe money to family or friends and you're thinking you're going to need to file bankruptcy in the near future, do not pay them now. You can pay them down the road after your bankruptcy case is over. You can voluntarily pay anybody, but do not pay prior to the filing of the bankruptcy, as that's going to cause some problems. The third thing you ought to avoid is large purchases on credit cards, and particularly cash advances. If you take out a lot of cash on your credit card and then you need to file bankruptcy in the next couple months after that, there's a possibility that the credit card company can come into your bankruptcy and object to those charges from going away. Basically what they're saying is, look, you incurred a bunch of debt right prior to filing bankruptcy, you knew what you were doing, and that defrauded us, essentially is what they're saying. So if you're needing to file bankruptcy, stop using the cards. It's not a good idea. It is fraudulent to continue to use the card if you know that you're going to be filing for bankruptcy in the future. Cash advances pose specific problems that can make your bankruptcy case not as smooth. So I know it's kind of a scary, kind of an uncertain time, but if you're finding yourself where you're in a situation where, like, you know what, I need a way out of this, that's what bankruptcy is there for. I always say, the really scary thing is, imagine a world without bankruptcy. If there was no way to be able to resolve some of these big debt issues, that would be really problematic for a lot of families. It's here. If you know the recession, it looks like it's probably coming already. If you think you're in a situation where bankruptcy is going to be necessary, you can talk to someone like myself. I practice law in the state of Arizona. I offer free bankruptcy consultations to really go over some of these things and discuss whether bankruptcy is a good option for you. My contact information is in the notes below this. Questions, comments, put them down there. I'm happy. I do look at them. I try to respond to them. Or just give me a call or set up an appointment. I'm happy to help. Thanks for watching today.